hitting theaters now, premiering, available. Powerful short film shows the vital role bilingual children play in immigrant families.
Yeah, Translators premiered at Tribeca Festival this week. It follows the real lives of 3 children who act as translators for non-English speaking members of their family. These young people often find themselves navigating complex situations, some of which are more adults than they are.
My name is Hattie, and I'm 13 years old. I live with my mom, dad, and little sister.
My name is Denzel, and I am 11 years old.
My name is Virginia, and I am 16 years old.
It was super difficult for me to learn English.
Did you have difficulty understanding your book?
I'm the only one that can actually speak English, so I'm the only one that can help my parents.
They don't get English classes like I do. They are at work doing everything they can for me and my brother.
So powerful. Joining us live this morning is the film's director, Rudy Valdez, along with Virginia Vasquez, one of the translators featured in the film. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
How did it go last night? Was this your first film premiere?
Yes, it was.
And Virginia, will you do it again?
Oh, yeah, of course.
She goes, of course.
And Rudy, this is not your first film. What did you think of your ingenue, your first foray?
The process of making documentaries is a lot of luck. And I think especially with this is, a lot of work, a lot of passion, all those things, but really finding people who are comfortable in front of the camera, know their truth, and are willing to be open and honest and put that out for you. And Virginia and the other people in this film have just been magic, true magic.
Yeah.
And Virginia, what you really are, you are putting it on the line. You're bearing it. You're vulnerable, as you mentioned. So we wonder if you might be able to share a little bit of your experience with us, because that was you right there on the screen. And for those of us, or for folks who haven't seen it yet, just a little background on your family, like how long you've been here, when you came, and just a little peek behind that curtain, if you will.
Well, we came here 5 years ago, and it was really hard.
From Venezuela?
Yeah, from Venezuela. We came here from Venezuela. We are from Caracas. And it was hard. My dad came here first so we could be a little more stable. And then me and my brother and I were staying in Venezuela for like about 9 months alone, just the 3 of us. So then we came here. It was really hard. We were starting school, and it's really intimidating being in an English-speaking school where you really don't know how to communicate. Then I started getting better because I feel like me and my little brother had learned it better and faster than my parents. And then with the time and all of the practice that I had and the pressure that I had for me to help my parents, like, I'm taking classes in school, I need to start learning so I can help them. So it was a little bit of pressure, but then I got the hang of it. I was getting used to it. So it was, at the beginning, I felt a lot of pressure, but then I got used to it, and it got easier for me to help them.
Wow. It's so, I think, when we talk about the immigrant experience, especially in a city like New York, there are so many immigrants that come in and out, and no one thinks, right? I'm Puerto Rican, and someone asks, oh, did you have to translate? No, Puerto Ricans learn a lot of English on the island. And so, was there ever a moment where you were like, Mami, ya no más, no puedo, I can't do this anymore?
I really didn't tell that to my mom because I know she needed my help. And after all they've done for me, that's at least the thing I can do for her. She came from her country having all of those status she had. She worked, she had her well-paying job, she studied at a good university, and she's just looking for a better future for me and my brother. So the least I can do is help her, so I just really did try my hard. If I was doing something that stopped and just take a minute for her, because it's something, at least it's something easy for me now. It's a daily thing now. So it's not like a hard work or something that I just, oh, I don't want to do this.
Right.
It's just, she needs my help, and I am helping her that she's getting better at it. At the point where if I'm going to college at some point, she's gonna learn, and she's not gonna need me that much.
She's not gonna. You're gonna cut the apron strings, is what we say in America. Exactly, that's right.
But that's a lot, and you were a teenager. And so people might not realize exactly what that means to be the translator for your family, and it's just from speaking to you now and watching the clip of the film, you obviously have had to compartmentalize a lot of I'm sure the frustration and just forge forward. So bravo to you, because that's not an easy feat. Before we move on, I wonder if you might share just an example with our viewers of something that they might not realize that you've had to do, that you've had to translate.
Well, there are some hard situations where I really can't mess up. I need to get the words right, say it how it is in the right order. Some stuff are similar, but I can't say them in the right order, the right word, and I am like for the bank. If they need a new car, or if they're lost a car, or for like a doctor appointment for my brother or me, my daily checkup in the dentist, or whenever my brother and I needed to go to like school, and we have those meetings with the teachers, and like you have to tell her like we're not doing good, or we're not being the best at it.
You have to be the adult and the child
Mommy,
all
she
at
said
once.
I'm a straight A student, and I don't have to come to school tomorrow.
But you should sign this anyway.
And like there are important stuff, but like also little stuff like getting food, like have to
a menu.
explain. Yeah, the menu.
I mean, some of these things I can't even, as being born in this country and speaking the native language, that are a lot for me to handle. Like still with insurance and medical stuff, I'm like, well, this is like reading Chinese.
In your native
to do
language.
as a child when this is your second language and you're kind of acting as the head of the household. I mean, we commend you immensely. But Rudy, now you're in the hot seat.
Hello.
I mean, amazing person, amazing.
You speak about it as though it's no big thing, and that you are grace personified, really, truly.
But you've been working on this. I'd imagine working on this film, and the research and the blood, sweat, and tears that goes into behind the scenes for a while now. So share with us how long this was from the idea in your head to it coming to this point, and where the inspiration came from.
Yeah, so this actually came to me in a different way than my projects normally do. This was brought to me actually by U.S. Bank, who had noticed in their communities where their banks are that there was a language barrier. They were seeing kids coming into their banks, having them children translate for their parents or grandparents for everything. And so they did a bit of research, and they found out that there are 11 million kids in this country translating for their families. A third of Hispanic households do not speak English, and they wanted to tell a broader story. And they came to me and they said, what can we do to sort of, they didn't want to necessarily talk about their bank in it, but they were like, we want to invest in this story because we see it's affecting communities.
Good for them.
And so they really let me go out and say, like, let me find some people, some examples of this, and truly tell this nuanced story that we don't always hear about. And so, to be honest, when they brought it to me, I immediately said, I want in, because I wasn't a child translator, but my parents had a little Mexican grocery store in our community in Michigan, in the Midwest, where, on the coast, you can generally find places or people in a hospital or in the school that can speak Spanish. But in Michigan, that's not very typical. And so people would come into the store and ask my parents, could you please come with me to the courthouse, to the school, to the hospital? Every single time, my parents would lock the store, pick me up, and we'd be on our way. And so early on, I was able to witness the access that language gives you. And so it spoke to me immediately, and I wanted so badly to be a part of telling the story and putting it out into the world. And I think most importantly, putting out into the world, not in a woe is me sort of way, but a way of promoting agency and voice and hope.
I was just going to say agency. Well, congratulations to both of you. Thank you. Thank you for spending a little bit of time with us. You have 2 more films premiering. She wants to go back to the party. I'll come with you. To learn more about Translators and watch the short film, you can go to translatorfilm.com.